This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Man, who was playing with the Mariners in MLB The Show today? Because it sure as hell wasn't my buddy Jack Frank. Because he swings way too early. He strikes out way too much. And he ain't scoring 11 runs on the New York Mets. But the Mariners just did that. 11-9 in a very high-scoring affair, a back-and-forth affair. There wasn't much pitching in today's game from either side, to be completely honest. Really, it was just 3 pitchers in total, I would say. You got a good outing from Spire, you got a good outing from Brash, and you got a good outing from Munoz. I think that's about it.
We might disagree on that. There were a couple guys who pitched before that we might be forgetting about, Anders. Certain Caleb Ferguson and a certain Eduard Vizardo were both very good.
Was good.
We'll talk about that because it was a huge part of that game.
Yeah, it is. You have to kind of hold up the end of the bargain that Castillo was unable to do today.
Right.
But before we start with the start, Christopher Crawford, what are your initial thoughts from the game?
Oh, this is just such a big win. I mean, this would have been a disastrous loss just because of everything. You know what I mean? And you talk about momentum. And by the way, if I'm distracted, I'm watching the Seahawks game because I have to for work. That's just something that Anders and I both have to be keeping an eye on right now. But this was just such a great win. And so many people contributed in this win. Like even Luis Castillo, we can talk about. There were some moments there that were pretty big for Luis Castillo as well. Everyone except for your starting shortstop contributed to the game today. And a rough game from him. He can't be your unsung hero because he was just bad. But everybody contributed. And Anders, we talked about this, or I talked about this on the George Kirby start, right? Like there's so many ways this team can win that game. No, both of us talked about it. That there's so many ways these teams can win games right now. And some of that's kind of an obvious point is obvious. Well, yeah, you won. Obviously, you can win a game like that. But you see the team win a 1-0 game, and a couple days later, you see a team win an 11-9 slugfest, right?
Yeah.
That's big. It's great to know that even on a day where you get your first bad start from someone who isn't Logan Evans in quite some time.
A long time.
You still get the W. This is a great start to a big 3-game series.
Yeah, I mean, the offense just did its job today. And it's really kind of, I almost want to say a relief because that 3-game set in Baltimore, yes, there was some weird stuff that went on. And yeah, you do end up scoring a little bit. It's not like you did 1-0-1 or anything like that.
Sure.
But for the majority of that series, the offense looked anemic. And it was just such a stark contrast from the 10-game homestand that we just experienced. So It was something where I was really looking like, all right, which are we right now? Is that just a blip in the radar, or are we going to kind of break out of it? And they broke out of it and then some today. So I don't know. Like, do you want to start with the start? Or do you want to start the offense?
Yeah, no, let's start with the start just because I think we have to. Luis Castillo, the results just aren't good. Right. They're not good. He gives up the 3 homers. He gives up 9 hits. He gives up the 6 runs. I will say to Luis Castillo's credit, number one, this is his first clunker in a long time. Right. There was that start against the Rangers where he looked like he wanted to muck duck Dan Wilson. Right. Like
yes, that
was that one. But he's been so good as of late. Before today, his last 7 starts, he had a 2.36 ERA and a 41-5 strikeout to walk ratio. Right.
Really good.
That's really good. So I don't want to go too crazy here. It's also worth pointing out that Luis Castillo's just not as good a pitcher on the road as he is at home, right? Like you have to give up runs somewhere, but it's substantially more on the road. There's also the point that the New York Mets were just kind of due to score some dang runs, right? Like this is an offense that has talented baseball players. I would take that top 4 on a lot of baseball teams, right? Like Alonso, we'll say Alonso. Yeah, Alonso's there. Lindor, Soto, Brandon Nimmo. Those are 4 guys that you want, on your roster. I also think you got to give Castillo a little credit for battling through that second inning and getting out of that jam, because this could have turned in. It's a poor start. There's nothing you can say other than that. It could have been really poor, really, really poor. So kudos to him for getting through that, getting the third inning. Then in the fourth, man, he just leaves a couple of pitches in the middle of the plate to hitters that you can't do it to. You just cannot do it to. But Luis Castillo will be better. I expect Luis Castillo to bounce back just fine. But tonight certainly wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I wonder how much of this start has the scope of the recent Mets. And you're looking at their offense and how much they've struggled to score runs in the past, 3 weeks or so.
Give or take.
But if this was the Mets of the early part of the year where they were, pitching really well, scoring a bunch of runs, you'd be like, yeah, he just ran into a buzzsaw today,
right?
Sort of situation. So,
sure.
And I agree with you. I think I had a weird feeling that, and I kind of got the same feeling when we played Baltimore the first time and they swept us, where they started off so poorly that I was like, this team is so much better than what their record is showing right now. And they're going to get right eventually. And they ended up getting right by that game. And I think this is a similar situation here with the Mets. They're going to figure it out. And they sort of did on the offensive side of the ball today. Their pitching just looked terrible.
Yes.
So, I mean, there are a lot of teams going through struggles right now. That's why they call it the dog days of August, right?
Right.
But I just think in terms of the scope of Luis Castillo's start, yes, he is much better at home. This is just a really good lineup. So I don't put a ton of stock into it. The velo was down a little bit as well. He was 94, a couple 93s in there on the fastball. I was like, oh, it's not what I'm used to seeing. And if he's going to be successful, you have to be that 95, 96, 97.
Or have that secondary stuff, and he just didn't have it today. No. And it's also, as many of you have pointed out, and thank you guys again for coming out. We really do appreciate it. And hit like and subscribe. We really
please do. Helps us a
ton. Francisco Lindor just has Luis Castillo's number, right? I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I know enough from how many people have talked about it that the guy just has a trademark on Luis Castillo, right? This is a situation where,
and he's a really good player too.
He's a really good player. It doesn't excuse making bad pitches, you know, but Francisco Lindor, he fouled off a tough one on that home run that gave him the lead and then gets the home run on the next pitch, right? And then Juan Soto, that guy's so good too. That guy is so good too. We didn't talk about this. Why don't we skip right to the bullpen? Because I think
let's do it. Let's do pitching. Let's do all pitching.
Pitching, and then we'll talk about the hitting in the second half. Because the bullpen today, minus one dude, was fantastic today. Bizzardo was fantastic. Ferguson was excellent. Gabe Spire was phenomenal. Gabe Spire was absolutely great. Matt Brash does the job, and Andres Munoz, that's as good as I've seen him in a while. And he's been good. Don't get me wrong. He has a 1.31 ERA and 29 saves, but that was that strikeout in particular to Soto. Oh my gosh. And to have the confidence to throw that pitch, too, right?
Yeah.
To have the confidence to throw that pitch. And also, the slider that Matt Brash throws to Francisco Lindor, the location isn't great, but because there's so much depth to that pitch, you aren't able to hit that pitch I said a bad word. It was an accident. It's going to happen again. I promise you. That's why I avoid certain words sometimes. Now, that pitch was at the letters, and you saw Francisco Lindor's reaction to it. It looked like he had just lost a loved one, right? Because he thought he was going to clobber the thing. Nope, that is what you get when you have the depth that this guy had. Real quickly, Jackson Kowar, and we were talking about this in our group chat, right?
Yeah.
You have to have one bad pitcher pitch in a game like this, right? Or one non-high leverage guy, right? I probably would have just left Spire in the game. He'd only thrown 11 pitches. He's facing a lefty and a guy who is, I think, had two lefties in a row, right? I believe it was McNeil and Mullins that were up next for those guys.
You might be right. Let me double check.
No, I'm sorry. It was McNeil Vientos, who just sucks. That's one of the worst at bats I've seen all year. And then Mullins. Just let Spire cook. If you're down that one guy, so be it. Now, the good thing is, Jackson Kowar, who's not a good pitcher. He's just not. He's the eighth guy on a staff for a reason, right? The good thing is, because you use him and because nobody else threw, I think, more than 15 pitches in the bullpen today. Nope. In fact, nobody threw more than 11. Everybody should be available tomorrow. Every single reliever should be available tomorrow. So Yeah, I probably wouldn't have made the decision Dan Wilson did, but I'll give Dan Wilson credit too, that I love how he used the bullpen after Castillo comes out. You go to Bizzardo to see if you can get back in that game. You go to Ferguson to face those lefties. They both do their job and then some, and then your high leverage guys do a great job. And again, 5-run lead, you try to sneak in worst pitcher to eats outs. It was fine. I would disagree. Because I thought how big this game was. I thought you had to win this baseball game.
And you saw how the ball was flying.
That's the other thing today too, man. This ball was jumping. It was just the humidity,
for both teams.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can't count the number of extra base hits. I know how many doubles the Mariners hit because they set their record tonight, when we'll talk about that in the second half of the show.
Yep.
But I just think that I'm glad that he did. Somebody brings up a good point right here. Sometimes he leaves them in longer than he should. Okay, just glad Dan didn't let Kowar work through it. Great call. Quick call. Right?
Realize his mistake. Get him out of there.
Exactly. So the credit's there too. I'm just saying that, here's the other thing that I would say, and this is just me, maybe. I want Gabe Spire to start getting comfortable working multiple innings. I want Gabe Spire to be able to go multiple innings when we get to the postseason, right? Because he's phenomenal right now. He's someone I trust an awful lot. I think there's a big 3 now. It's great that you have a big 2 for sure. I think there's a big 3 now with Gabe Spire, the way that he's been pitching the baseball. So I kind of want to see him go those multiple innings to get comfortable when we have to do this. I'm certainly letting him go multiple innings in September.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because it's not something you can just pick up. Right. You got to start to kind of build yourself up to get to those longer outings, too.
Absolutely.
And you have to have a shorter bullpen when, the big moments come in the postseason. So, yeah, I think I'm with you. He did have, I don't remember if there were a ton of bad pitches, but he was in. Remember when he came in for Gilbert, and then that's when everything kind of blew up in the second Baltimore game. So there hasn't been perfect as of late with Spire, but I think I generally agree with you.
Yeah.
He's been really, really good. So, I just, to me, and I want to kind of pick your brain about this, because you've mentioned this phrase a couple times.
Real quick, just because I'll forget it if not. That was on Wednesday, by the way. That was the first earned run that Gabe Spire had allowed since July 13th. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's over a month. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. But you've mentioned this phrase that Dan Wilson manages to the back of the baseball card.
Yeah.
Is this an example of that? Because, okay, we have an over a 3-run lead. And when you say that, you're saying the stat of a save, quote unquote, or a hold happens when you are within 3 runs, correct?
Right. Yep.
So that's one of those situations where it's I don't think he's trying to just get his guys' stats, but he's almost just it's not a save situation, therefore I'm not going to put Munoz in, or it's not a hold situation, I'm not going to put my high leverage guys in. Is that what you're talking about?
A little bit, yeah. And it's just, I think, a case of where he plays it a little bit too much by a book, right? If you had a manager book, right? That would be how he did it. But you know what? Credit to him, because it worked out outside of that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody tonight in the bullpen, I believe, pitched except for Casey Legumina. Yeah. And everybody did their job except for Jackson Kowar, right? And, it could have been worse if I still don't know what Mark Vientos is swinging at on that strikeout, because that pitch was never a strike. It was never a strike.
He was nowhere near it.
That's a FanDuel investigation at bat, to be sure. But that, it worked out. It worked out great. And, credit, by the way, to on the Munoz play, Dylan Moore made a really nice play at first base during that as well, right? He handled that perfectly and makes the perfect shift, or perfect little shovel pass to Andres Munoz. The defense was pretty dang good tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't notice like any miraculous plays, but everyone just like did their job. You know what I mean?
One running catch from Julio that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they didn't even have to dive on.
No. Well, and that's the thing too, is that Julio's so fast that he doesn't have to dive on it.
Right.
My dog, by the way, is barking. I think this is the first time she's seen rain in about 7 years. We're just
well, while your dog is having some fun barking at the rain, we'll give some love to our sponsors. We'll talk about the offense. We buried the lead a little bit. This offense has been great. It was great today.
Yes.
We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. The grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course flavored to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game.
Some days on the course or off it, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. It sounds like Minnie might have had some 5-Hour Energy right now. Come on, girl, let's go. It's just perfect for golf, right? You need that energy. Nobody ever thinks of golf as a sport where you need energy, but man, sometimes you do, just both mentally and both physically. You need that energy. So it's nice to have something that tastes good as well. And that's what 5-Hour Energy Transfusion brings you.
Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape, ginger, lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5-he-win.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in this one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone.
Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. If you're someone who shares finances with other people, you got to use Monarch Money, right? Just because, hey, you don't know if your significant other makes a purchase. You don't know if they are the one who ended up sending the check for school. You don't know if they're the one who ended up buying all those Unieski Betancourt rookie cards. You guys just don't know, remember which one did which. So using an app like 5-Hour Energy won't help you all that much there, but it will give you the energy to use Monarch Money. And that's pretty great. At least I didn't swear.
Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Woo.
Here we go, Orioles. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go, Orioles. Did they
have a game, baby?
Did they win?
Yes, they did. 7-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mariners are officially, once again, a half game behind Houston in the AL West. Big win today, but it's all about the offense. We talked a little bit about the pitching, but the offense is the reason why you win this game. I almost want to do an exercise of going down the entire lineup and just kind of reading the lines tonight. Okay.
Good.
Randy, leadoff spot. Excellent leadoff day from Randy Arozarena. Just gets on base. He gets 2 hits. He's 2 for 6. So, it ends up, not looking amazing. But the first 2, when you needed him to kind of continue to reply after New York kind of got going against Castillo early on in the game, he was on base and scored 2 runs as well. Randy Arozarena, 2 for 6 with 2 singles.
I have nothing to add. That's perfectly said.
Okay. Cal, 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs, a walk, and, of course, one of those was just a moonshot to the second deck.
This
47.
This is the best I've seen Cal Raleigh look in a while. And that is not an insult to how Cal Raleigh's been playing. It hasn't been perfect, but it hasn't been that bad, folks. Like, comparatively, sure, but like, it works. No, this worked and then some. And what was great to see was the doubles, right? Those line drive doubles. He was huge today. And he also called a terrific game, I thought, today. And he also, this is the first time I really noticed the framing from Cal Raleigh. And that's partially because Cal Raleigh is so good at it sometimes that you just kind of forget. But, the framing was so good today, in particular on that strikeout by Brash. That was just a terrific piece of catching. But, like, that was MVP Cal Raleigh. If you get that version of Cal Raleigh, you're going to do some special things.
Yeah, he just, once again, seemed locked in at the plate. I don't think he was ever that far off, to be honest.
No.
It just was a little timing off, and he was getting a little under pitches that he should be crushing. But he's back to the mode where he's crushing baseballs that he needs to be crushing, and even ones that he shouldn't at this point. I think the double down the line, he goes the other way with it. God, that was so pretty.
It's pretty.
Like, just so dang good from him. And it's not just the home runs, man.
Yeah. He just misses 47 too.
Yeah, he does.
Misses. It's just, I was looking to see how many parks that get out in, and I believe it was 12 out of 30 that it would have been a homer in. So it's not like it was shellacked or he got unlucky, but man, that was a really strong game.
Julio in the 3-hole goes 2 for 6, 2 RBIs, does strike out 3 times, but still gets 2 hits. Was it 2 doubles or was it a double to single?
It's 2 doubles, 2 doubles. And I thought his double, especially in the first inning, was massive because it gives you that early 1-0 lead after Cal just got under one in the first inning too, right? Like, so you're thinking, okay, they're picking up the baseball pretty well. And then Julio lines that double. It was kind of disappointing they couldn't get him home. Yeah. There were 3 at-bats in between the doubles that weren't so great. I will give Ryan Helsley, I'm not going to get too mad at a guy who strikes somebody out on 1-1 up. Like that's a perfect pitch, right? Like there's not a ton you can complain about there. Sometimes you do, just got to tip your cap. But I love that he came back and was able to line that double. And then even with the bases loaded, boy, I was thinking, I have to be honest, I had some dark thoughts after that line drive goes right into Soto's glove. Yeah. Right? Like, oh, this was a chance to put this game away.
It's fun. He still hits it really hard. That's one of those where, like, you know what? You do what you're supposed to do.
He absolutely shellacked the thing. It just happened to go right at the guy. And we've seen a lot of Adam balls. When Julio's not getting hits, he's either striking out right now or it's going right to somebody. That's what I want to see. Yeah. That's what I don't want to see. Weak choppers. I don't want to see grounders back up the middle. I don't want to see weak fly outs to the right fielder. I want to see the ball either get mollywopped or I want to see some strikeouts. I think Julio tries to change himself, not decay, and throws him off. Then he goes through the season, F it, and goes off. I mean, I think there was some of that this year. That wasn't the case last year. He just didn't. He was just striking out so much, right? But I do think there was something about strikeouts being in his head at some point this year, right? Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we've got this version now, and I'm very.
I will take, and I think I saw this. I'll take 2 doubles and 3 Ks any day of the week.
Hell yeah, strikeouts are just outs, guys. Yeah. You know, a lot of things we go too much with the strikeout. We just.
I agree. Gino, like probably my unsung hero because I think I'll say unsung moment because he's the one who ties the game up in the 7th inning with his double to score Cal Raleigh. He, on the day, goes 1 for 4, scores a run, has an RBI, does strike out twice as well. But good to see him at least somewhat bring himself back in the fold a little bit because the first couple of bats looked really bad, to be honest, from him. Yeah. But him getting that double was a huge moment in this game.
Huge moment in this game. And the only reason he's not my unsung hero is because the guy behind him is. Yeah. Because... Yeah. Well, I totally agree with everything you say there. I'll just move on to Dom Canzone.
Yep, do it.
That hit was massive, because I believe there's only 1 out, but still, you got a lefty coming in. And while Canzone has been better against lefties, no question about it, there have been some at-bats that make you go, oh, he doesn't pick the baseball up against these guys at all. But that liner up the middle, great job by Suarez getting a great jump on that play as well. So to score that run. But that moment was huge, right? That started this offensive onslaught. Now you had some offense obviously before that too, right?
And after it.
That's when things get really good. That's when things get really, really good. So that's why he's my unsung moment. But the guy batting next, heck, the 2 guys who bat next also are in the conversation.
Yeah. we'll keep going. Garver 2 for 3.
He's great.
With 2 walks, a home run. That was his only hit was the home run. So, you know, that's kind of a Mitch Garver game. 2 walks, a home run.
If you get on 3 out of 5 times, you're having yourself a pretty darn good game. And that homer was big too, right? Because Mariners get the 1 and then Lindor hits the leadoff homer and it's 1-1. Well, you bounce right back and get a run, right? You bounce right back, and Garv Sauce with that homer I thought was great, and he took some really good at bats tonight too. It was nice to see, and I'd say I'll just move on to Solano. Man, just missed that homer. Just missed it.
I know,
but that was one of the better games from Donnie Barrels that we've seen in a while. The The lineup was so good today.
It was. I'm going to mention the pinch run, Dylan Moore, after the Donnie Barrels double, because he number one scores a run on the next double. From Cole Young, which we'll get to. And then he hits a double of his own.
Good for him. Do you know when the last time he had a hit was?
July 13th.
July 4th. July 4th was the last time that this dude had a hit.
Did I see that correctly, that he asked for the baseball too?
I was just going to ask if that's true, because if he did, that's wonderful, right?
Like that,
and that's having a good sense of humor too, right? That's phenomenal. That is really, really cool to see.
And you saw how excited the dugout was.
Oh my gosh. The players love this dude, right? Like, he is scrap personified, right? Unfortunately, we have to take away the letter S from that too, because that's how he's played, right? That's just the honest
well done, Chris
truth,
Coffey.
right? Well, thank you, sir. It's better than swearing. I'm happy for him, man. And I'm happy for Seattle fans, because Dylan Moore is popular. Like, my social media feed was filled with hell yeah, Dylan Moore, hell yeah, Dylan Moore. And I was also filled, did that really just happen too?
Yeah, that's exactly what mine was.
There's definitely some of that, but like, that's great. It's great to see, and it's a reminder that baseball is such a game of individual moments. And in that individual moment, even in a game that wasn't really close at the time, right? It was 10-6.
Nope.
And boy, Frankie Montas, he's bad. He's real bad, real bad. But I'm happy. I'm happy for Demo.
Let's move to the one guy who doesn't get on base, doesn't really contribute tonight, and it's JP Crawford.
Yeah,
he goes 0 for 5 with 2 Ks.
It was a tough game for JP. It was just not a game where, he had a decent little series against Baltimore. I believe he had 4 hits in those 3 games. So I don't want to go too nuts, but like, nothing that JP Crawford has done really since even moving into the 8 spot. By the way, in August, he's hitting 275, 341, 450. That's solid.
I'll take that for my 8-hole hitter every day.
Oh my goodness gracious. Absolutely. But I don't think he's done anything to suggest that he needs to be moved up, right?
No.
Like, I'm still pretty confident in him being that 8 spot right now.
Yeah. And I honestly, I think it works. Just keep doing that. That's fine with me. And then Cole Young, who actually might be my unsung hero today.
Oh,
because he's 3 for 4.
Yeah.
With a walk.
Yeah.
2 doubles, I want to say.
I think so.
I think he gets 2 doubles.
Yeah.
So, God, he looks good. I think his trajectory was he really struggled at first for the first 2 weeks that he was up. Kind of slowly worked his way up, incrementally kept getting better and better and better. Then hit a rough patch again for another 2 weeks where he kind of was but lately, and then it's an even sharper incline since that has happened. He has been a really, really good baseball player, especially getting on base at a super high clip.
Yeah, coming into today, he was hitting 227 in August with a 227 slugging percentage. And, that's not good.
No.
He had a 433 on base percentage, though, over that time frame. And sure, a lot of that is based on the 4-walk game, right? That's gonna help those numbers quite a bit. But he had it, right? And, I was so happy to see Cole Young bounce back from, he was pretty miserable in Baltimore, right? Yeah. Those were 2 really bad baseball games that he played. But it didn't carry over. It didn't carry over whatsoever. And I saw him drive the baseball. By the way, unsung moment is him driving in the run to make it a 6-5 game, right? Yeah. Because there's 2 outs in that situation. You're down by 2 runs. There's just something about being by 2 compared to 1 that's a little bit more, maybe it's just us, right? Yeah. But it's a little bit more difficult to, I think I'm watching someone run a kickback. No, they got him. Okay. It's just a little more difficult to feel confident, right? But when you get that 1 run, I was kind of oh, they're going to score a lot more runs in this baseball game, right? So that was a huge moment.
So are you talking about when it gets to 10-6 instead after 8-6?
No, didn't he drive in the run to make it 6-5, or was that somebody else?
6-5 was Dominic Canzone. No, that was 7-6. That was 7-6.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was ever 6-5. maybe I'm wrong. Oh, no. You are right. No, you are right. No, you are right.
Okay, great.
Sorry, I was looking at the wrong inning.
That's okay. That's all right.
He does have 2 doubles then.
And
no, that one was a single. Okay,
that one was a single. Yeah, and that double down the line, too, to push that lead to 4 runs was massive as well.
Yeah.
Terrific game from Cole Young. This was a really good game. And JP Crawford had a bad one. And so a lot of you are writing to say that, hey, it's just one game. It's just one game. How many of you don't get still that we are recapping one game at a time? I love all of you. Yes. But how do you not get that this is...
We tell you what happened on August 15th, 2025.
Come on. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Right? And yes, we put it in perspective of
100%.
Yeah, of like the bigger overall season. If someone's struggling for a long period of time, like we say that. And we didn't even say that about JP. It's like, he was like the only one that didn't contribute tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, I still love my son. I still have hope. And I love my son at being the 8th best hitter, or maybe even the 9th best hitter on the Seattle Mariners, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Who's also looked like better defensively lately, I will say. No comment from Chris Crawford. That's fine. Okay. We will continue, hopefully continue our I don't want to say win streaks. We just started a new one, but we'll continue your Mariners coverage tomorrow with I believe another 4:05 first pitch. I want to say. Let me double check that to make sure it is correct. We got...
it's a 1 o'clock game tomorrow. I'm pretty sure.
1 o'clock game tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't love it.
That's kind of weird.
I don't love it. I think it's an early game because they're traveling to Williamsport on Sunday.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Right.
Brian Wu versus Nolan McLean making his MLB debut.
So real quick, since I am the guy who pretends that he knows about prospects and have tricked a bunch of companies into paying for him, Nolan McLean has really good stuff. Nolan McLean's command is not so great. He will issue his share of free passes. If you have a similar approach, I think, to what you had against Manaea tonight, I think you should be able to have some success. But we have seen the Mariners struggle at first looks at pitchers, right?
Yeah,
it is something that has been kind of a carryover for the last few years. But McLean's interesting, but I think Brian Wu should be able to outpitch him.
All right, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow, 1:05 first pitch. So we'll be with you guys probably around, 3:30-ish, 3:45, and we'll get you guys rolling. Get out of here. Hopefully the Mariners can go win the series tomorrow, and then if you're playing for a sweep in Williamsport, then we're good to go. So, I do really like the Sonic sweatshirt. That's it. It's a good look.
Hey, Simply Seattle's cool, but they don't sponsor the show, so I'll shut up.
Great. Sounds good. If you're interested in Seahawks coverage, we will have a Seahawks squad show very similar to this Mariners postcast. We go live right after every single Seahawks game. Both Chris and I are on that with Rob Rang, the wonderful Rob Rang. We were about halfway through not halfway through, just beginning of the second quarter of the Seahawks preseason game. Go check it out on Locked On Seahawks. Super easy. If you're not subscribed there already and you are a Seahawks fan, please do so. And of course, if you haven't liked this video already, please do that as well. You can catch any part of today's show on anywhere you get your podcast, or just go back to YouTube. Check us out. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. Let's go get it again tomorrow. Last word, Chris Crawford.
Go Mariners.